prides itself as Denver's front yard, Civic Center Park. But there's no doubt it needs a little TLC after 100 years. And the people who manage the park want to hear from you. Joining us now is Eric Lazzari, Executive Director of the Civic Center Conservancy. Eric, thank you so much for joining us. I want to talk with you first a little bit about the Conservancy's mission and how perhaps it's changed over the years.
Yeah, no, the Conservancy has been around in our community for a little over 15 years, and really we're here to bring that layer of service beyond what government can provide to Civic Center Park, and we do that by restoring, enhancing, and activating. And so, you know, we've been super excited. What we've been known for over the years is things like Independence Eve, which CBS4 has been a partner in, as well as the food trucks, Civic Center Eats, and free fitness classes throughout the summer. But right now we're, you know, excited to work on that enhanced portion of our mission, and that's where the Next 100 project comes in.
You know, Eric, this past year has been particularly tough, and I know you've seen it firsthand. COVID, meaning events like Independence Eve, like you just mentioned, it was canceled this last year. Civic Center Eats had to be revamped. And of course, we saw protests, homeless camps. For you, what is it like to watch all of that happen?
You know, even through a interesting 2020, you know, Civic Center was still filling its primary role in the community. It's a place where people gather. And sometimes it's gather for large celebrations like Independence Eve or Taste of Colorado, but a lot of times it's in celebration or a protest in expressing their voice. And it's important that our community has a space like Civic Center for both those things to happen. And so really, as I look back on 2020 and the role Civic Center played in the Black Lives Matter protests and the response to George Floyd, you know, it was really Civic Center serving its highest and best use for our community, a place where voices can be expressed. And it's a place really as a community that we can all come together.
And you said it, you're looking forward to the future, the next 100 years of the park. But I understand you're looking at the park in 4 different zones. So why go that way?
No, that's correct. So there's a Civic Center master plan that was created in 2005 that really gave a holistic look at the future of Civic Center Park and identified several key projects to enabling that transformation as it happens. And so right now in this phase 1 of the Civic Center Next 100, we are looking at kind of the 4 projects that can have the most impact right away is really how we're looking at it. And what we know is, you know, some of them already have funding identified. So once we finish the designs, they can go right into construction. Others are still more conceptual, and we want the community to be on that journey with us. And it's really up to the community to decide what's going to happen in their Civic Center Park.
Well, let's go ahead and talk about the survey specifically, Eric. I've been looking it over myself. What sort of information are you hoping to gather?
You know, really, we want to know what people want to experience in Civic Center Park. You know, we've got some great key projects, the Greek Theater being probably the most prominent of them. But as they think about what they want Civic Center to be, and the Greek Theater specifically to be in 3, 4, 5 years, we want to know what types of things they want to experience there. Do they want to see live music? Do they want to see theater performances? Do they want it to be just a place where we can go and have civic discussions? So that's the sort of thing. But, you know, we're also asking the community to think about what their children and their children's children will want. You know, in Civic Center, we get to think in centuries as opposed to decades.
I was going to say, it served us well the past 100 years, and certainly we want the next 100 years to be just as great, if not greater. So, Eric, thank you so much for your insight. Now, as far as this survey goes, you have until March 5th to fill that out. You can find it on our links and info page at cbsdenver.com.